If you're really keen on the Madison scene, wanna get up and go to the latest show. Theater, dance, music and arts. If you wanna be in the know, show Biz Buzz with Bruno. A singer, an author or a playwright, a dancer or an actor in the spotlight. Artists, poets, comedians too. Look at all the things Bruno has for you. If you're really keen on the Madison scene, wanna get up and go to the latest show. Theater, dance, music and arts. If you wanna be in the know, show Biz Buzz with Bruno.
Showbiz Buzz with Bruno is presented by madstheater.com. And I've got a lot to say.
Presented by Mads Theater. Theater.com.
Hello and welcome to Showbiz Buzz with Bruno, presented by Mads Theater. I'm Michael Bruno, your host, and today we have the lovely Madison Savoyards representatives, Bradley Carter and Alessio Tranchel. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Bradley, this is your second time. So we will defer to Alessio since I have not met Alessio and people have probably not met Alessio. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be where you are today.
Absolutely. So I'm Madison New Blood, coming up on a year being in town here, which is very exciting. Yeah, came here. I just finished my first year of my DMA in conducting at UW-Madison. So that's what took me to this wonderful city in the first place. And every new city I go to, one of the first things I do is check out the local Gilbert and Sullivan troupe and see what's going on and get involved however I can. So that was sort of step one, and saw that they were looking for a music director and thought, perfect.
And where did you come from? Where were you previous to this?
The last 8 years I've been in the Twin Cities. So I still have my apartment in St. Paul and kind of live between Madison and St. Paul these days, and originally from the East Coast. So I've been slowly hopping my way out west and have landed here in the Midwest.
And what brought you to Gilbert and Sullivan in the first place? What was your first experience?
Yes, my first GNS performance was my freshman year of college. I was in the chorus of Pirates of Penzance. And if Pirates is your first, it's hard to unscratch that itch.
The same happened to me. Right?
Yes, yes. So, I experienced that just as a chorus member and fell in love with everything about it. In the next 2 years, got to do HMS Pinafore, and then my first time doing Mikado was in the chorus during my undergrad as well. Moved to Western New York after undergrad to pursue my master's in conducting, and started working with, did another Pirates as the Pirate King. That would have been 2014, something around there, a while ago. And then I music directed for the Buffalo, New York Philharmonic, or Gilbert and Sullivan troupe out there. So did Pirate King with them, and then music directed for the Gondoliers, and then kept hopping out west, ended up in Minneapolis and did Princess Ida with them. And then over the last 8 years did, 5 or 6 different shows and concert performances with Gilbert and Sullivan, Very Light Opera Company in the Twin Cities. Very light indeed. Yeah, and so I'm new city now, but GNS is the constant, I guess.
And what brought you into conducting? Had you always wanted to be that part of it, conducting, or is it something you kind of fell into later on?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to pursue music in some capacity. I've always loved singing. I've always loved choir. I've always loved theater. And during my undergrad, kind of caught the choral bug. So started working with choirs in my undergrad and have kept doing that, but have never given up also singing in theater productions and doing the opera stuff on the side as well. So it's sort of this tandem, choral conducting and singing, and some shows I'll do the music directing, some shows I audition to sing, and depends on what I'm feeling that
so you
that
jump
scene
back
around.
Into both.
Exactly.
Get
Yeah.
up and sing the song, go back and conduct the
That's right.
Sing the song. Love it, Bradley, sir.
Oh, hi.
So tell us a little bit about, for people that may not know, who and what the Savoyards are.
So the Madison Savoyards are Wisconsin's primary purveyors of the works of Gilbert and Sullivan, who wrote about a dozen or so comic operas together in their partnership. The most well-known three being HMS Pinafore, The Pirates of Penzance, and The Mikado, which we are doing a rendition of this year. The company was founded in 1963 by some high school students who just wanted something fun to do that summer. And, we've been going strong ever since, doing a big show in the summer. For the past few years, since COVID, we've been performing at the Drury stage of the Bartell Theater. Yeah. What else about the
Fountain
Savoyards?
of information.
Yeah,
So now you are currently the president of the
I am.
Savoyards,
Yes.
right? And so you're also assistant directing now. Is this your first time donning a directing cap?
Yeah, this is my first time for what I would call directing for a fully staged production. I've, directed some of our little concerts here, and, there's this thing that they do some New Year's at the Bartell called Ball Drop Blitz, where in the course of 24 hours, people write, rehearse, direct, perform, short 10-minute plays, and I directed one of those one year. But yeah, this is my first time for the big summer show, assistant directing. When I started with the Savoyards a few years ago, first I was, the major general, and that's a very insular role. Then the next year I was Colonel Cavalry, one of the featured members of the men's chorus. Then next year in Iolanthe, I was a representative peer, a member of the men's chorus. And so this year I'm assistant directing, and I realized I'm sort of zooming out and getting a larger picture, of the production, of the cast, of the characters every year. And to me, it's just what I love about theater is the collaborative and holistic nature of it. And so being able to see and view and work with the production from this perspective is it's very invigorating. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding.
So I was really surprised, seeing as how you're such a lover of kilt wearing, that you're not in the production this year.
Oh, no worries. I still will be wearing a kilt to give the little speech at the beginning reminding people to turn their phones off.
So speaking of which, tell us about this adaptation of the Mikado.
Yes. So shortly after I joined the board, which was right after the production of Pirates of Penzance a few years ago, we were already looking to see when our next of what are called the big three, Pirates, Pinafore, Mikado, would be, because as a small community founded and funded organization, it's important that we do these more popular works so that because they're what our audiences like, they're what people like to do, and for better or worse, they're what we get a bit more money doing. I mean, more people are going to come see the Mikado than they are going to come see Princess Ida. So with the Mikado, the original historical production of it has a sort of Orientalist, racialized component of it that is unacceptable. But over the past couple of decades, it's become popular to stage it in different areas of the world, sometimes in fictional locations, sometimes just staging it in England like the rest of the Gilbert and Sullivan canon. And so we were looking at other productions throughout, mainly throughout other United States countries to see what they did. And, we saw one that set it in Italy, but we figured that's sort of similar to the setting of the Gondoliers. We want something different. We saw one that set it backstage during rehearsals of the original Mikado, but we figured that's we didn't want to have that meta-theatrical element. But then we came across Gilbert and Sullivan Austin. I think just that year, 2023, they did their production of the Mikado, MCADO, set in Scotland. And I mean, immediately I was drawn to it just from that clever title change, keeping the name, the pronunciation, but, moving the spelling around a bit. So we got the DVD of their production, watched it. It was fantastic. And then just the following year, the company, Gilbert and Sullivan Light Opera Company in the Twin Cities, did their version of the Mikado set in Scotland. And I made a little weekend trip to go see it. And, I said, hey guys, I think this really is, the one we want to do. This is a this is a setting, this is a production. Yeah, and we just, we voted on it as a board and came to unanimous agreement that it was where we would want to put our version of the Mikado.
So, Alessio, did you see that production in the Twin Cities?
I did actually, yeah. And I've a lot of friends who were involved in it, and it was both from their experience and seeing the show in person, it was like, this is the way to do it. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how do you adapt it? I'm assuming that the music doesn't change, but I'm sure that our lyricist in residence here has put his fingers on a couple of songs, which is always brilliant, Bradley. You do a great job of updating the lyrics. So, but talk to me a bit about the music for the show.
Absolutely. The beauty of why this production works is because the music is relatively untouched. All the original integrity and beautiful music that Arthur Sullivan wrote remains intact. It's really maybe a 10% word change here and there, and that's the only new stamp that we have on the music. And so the music is able to live and breathe the way that it did in its originality, and it's just taking out the problematic subject matter and setting and putting it on in with a new landscape. And then, of course, Bradley, in the famous List song, has added his stamp onto that, which is very funny, very topical, and a lot of fun.
So the real question is, how many bagpipes in the orchestra?
Great question. So we do involve live bagpipes in that small theater. It's an awesome
sure it's a treat for the ears.
Absolutely,
and the eyes.
Yes. So we've been able to partner with 2 local bagpipers that are kind of splitting the duties of the show, and they, as soon as I saw that we were doing this in Scotland, it was a non-starter. It was like, we have to have bagpipes. We can't fake it. We can't have recorded bagpipes. We got to have them live in person, which is really exciting. We have Andrew and Hugh, our 2 local bagpipers in Madison, and they've agreed to do the show, and they're having a lot of fun with it. The difficulty, of course, is balance with bagpipes are just a huge sound, overwhelming in the best way possible. And then how do we insert them in and out of the orchestra without messing with the already pre-composed music. So it took some work and effort and some thought, but yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah.
I love that, I think.
You'll have to come and see.
Judgment until I see it and hear it myself.
Absolutely.
So tell us about your rehearsal process. Are any, obviously, since you're new to Madison, these are all musicians who are new to you as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I think every singer involved in the show is someone that I met, at auditions. So I find that to be a freeing process, because it sort of starts me with a total blank slate, rather than having preconceived notions about what kind of characters these people play or what their voice is capable of. I can just sit there and listen and see what they're bringing to the table. So it was a really wonderful experience, kind of getting to know them and working with them. I'm enamored by the amount of talent in Madison itself, but in this production too. There's just some incredible voices, that are just our community members. It's a joy to have a production where we're not flying people in to sing the main roles. It's all local talent, and they're, even the amazing talent that they've already brought, they're continuing to improve upon and just bring this show to life.
And are any of the orchestra members from previous years, are they coming back? Do you know, Bradley?
Oh, yes. I think a number of the orchestra members, possibly even most or all. And actually, our poobah, Jeremy Dyer, his mother, who has played, he has played in the cello played cello for the past few years, and she flew all the way from Germany to be with us for a couple weeks to join playing with her son. Yeah.
What was she doing? Is she living in Germany now?
Yeah. So one of her sons, not Jeremy. Jeremy still lives here in Madison, but lives out in Germany. So she, moved there, but is coming back for the Savoyards.
Wow, that's great. I love her. I love Jeremy too. I mean, half the cast I've worked with on the other 2 shows. I'm excited to see them all in these new roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool. So tell me a little bit about the staging for the show. I'm assuming does it take place in a specific place, or is it just in Scotland somewhere?
It takes place in the town of Ballydew, which is not a real place, but it's sort of, that's one of the adaptation pieces from Gilbert and Sullivan Austin. I think that they said that they found that there was actually a place called Ballydew, but I don't quote me on that without my uncertainty. And I think it's just because it fits the rhyme of the original setting, Titipu, Japan, but also kind of sounds like Brigadoon. But
I was going to say, probably just down the road from Schmigadoon.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, and and as far as the physical stage setting goes, we just had load in today, so everyone was, hammering and drilling away to get this multi-tiered greenery all set up, and tomorrow we're gonna get to try to walk around in it.
So tell me a little bit about working with Sam.
Sam, yeah. So Sam comes from a very strong Shakespearean background, and so he's he has done some musicals before, but I don't think he's done quite a light opera. But he's bringing quite a lot to the table as far as things like character intention, and he has very very regimented sort of structure to our rehearsals, and making sure everything gets done. One thing that was really fun about the rehearsal process was, I think in only our third week, we had a full run through of the show, even knowing that some parts of the blocking and choreography were not in place yet, because that gave, us as the directing team, our eyes were then able to see, oh, okay, yeah, we maybe do want them to move around a bit more for this number, or, oh, that this actually looks good as it is. The actors just figured out what to do on their own, and, we don't need to tell them what to do, because, as with this short of a rehearsal process, you need to value everyone's time as much as possible. You need to make sure that we're working on the parts that need the work and letting what works bloom freely.
Yeah, time goes really fast.
It does. It does. I think it's shows. Yeah, I mean, we started rehearsals the last week of June, and Tech Week started today. So yeah, going quickly.
And what are the dates for the show again?
July 31st through August 9th. So that's Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday matinee, followed by Thursday and Friday evenings and Saturday, Sunday matinees. You can find this all on the Bartell's website, bartelltheater.org. And tickets are going fairly quickly, so if you like seats that aren't far away, maybe buy your tickets sooner rather than later.
Yeah, because you want to be right next to the bagpipes.
Exactly.
I'm telling you right now, you want to be right next to the bagpipes for the show. Oh, you also have a children's show, though, right?
Yes. For our August 1st performance for that matinee at 2 hours before the 3 p.m. matinee performance at 1 p.m., we have a free children's program where some of our the members of our Little Maids ensemble will be doing a educational portion of the show, teaching about some of the songs and dance and Scottish dancing and all that.
So I'm assuming now that this takes place in Scotland that your wonderful choreographer Heidi has got everybody doing the sword dances and doing the traditional Scottish ballet.
Yes, we're actually very fortunate in that during auditions, Alexander, I think it's pronounced Torgar, just came, and he had great experience already with that style of Scottish Highland dancing, and so in the second act of this show, he and Heidi were able to work out a few moments where he's able to really show off that traditional Highland dancing skill in ways that are quite humorous.
I love it. So any plan? Obviously, you're saying you're naming the big three. Have you made any decisions for shows coming down the road, or is that a secret to be held for later?
Yes, well, I will confess that within my mind and within a few PowerPoint presentations circulated throughout the board, I have plans and ideas for what our next 5 or so years would look like. But the only one we have officially voted on is our show next year, which, if you want to find out, you'll have to make sure you come to one of the performances on time and hear me tell you to turn off your phones and reveal what next year's show will be.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what other projects are you planning on doing once this is in your back pocket?
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm entering my second year of coursework, but my plan for this upcoming year is to overbook myself.
That's something wonderful. Let's all do that.
Absolutely. So I'm excited to get my hands and feet in different doors here in Madison. I sing with the Madison Choral Project, which has been just an incredible group to work with, but I'm hoping to find my paws into other various theatrical productions over the next year. So
And are you employed by the university?
yes. So I'm as a DMA student, I'm sort of half student, half faculty in my time.
That's like
there.
being a half fairy and a half peer. I kind of like that.
Exactly. You know it well. Exactly.
Yeah, I do know pretty well.
Right,
Yeah. Down to the waist.
So, what other things have you done anything with the School of Music previous to this?
Previous to my schooling here.
Yes.
No, this is my first foray at UW and my first year as a Badger. So,
How did you find out about the Madison coming to Madison?
yeah.
As a destination.
A large part of it, there was sort of a small serendipity, and this sort of happened by chance. My mom grew up in Madison,
Okay.
and so did all of her high school years, and then ended up moving away after post high school. But there was sort of a serendipity of she's very excited that I'm here because she gets to come visit all her high school buddies.
Where did she go to high school?
She went to not Madison West, but what's the other high school?
East.
No, in the
James
West
Madison
area.
Memorial.
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 Yes.
It's not James Madison anymore, is it? It's just Memorial. Yes, because they had a big stink about that, taking James Madison's.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Memorial.
Memorial. Yeah.
Oh, good. She's a West Sider. We're okay with it. Yeah.
So that was a fun serendipity, but not necessarily what drew me to Madison. A large part of what drew me to Madison was Dr. Mariana Farah, who took over the program at UW-Madison, I think 4 years ago, has just built an incredible choral program. And I met her at a conference a few years back, and Madison kind of came on my radar through her, and it's been a joy to study with her over the last year, and I'm looking forward to learning more from her. But what's keeping me here outside of the obvious, I have schoolwork to get done. It's such a singing community here in Madison.
Mhm.
There's a million choirs, a million theaters, all sorts of music theater productions. Madison Opera's just doing outstanding work, and I think that's gonna keep me here a while. Yeah.
And do you know when Music Hall is supposed to go into its big, huge reconstruction and
It begins
refurbishing?
this fall. It might have already begun. I know UW Opera Theater has been vacated of that space, and they're going to start, revamping and, doing work on that. I have no idea, and realistically, nobody knows how long these types of projects will take.
Sure,
but
sure.
it's exciting to know that there's plans for an updated music hall and hopefully some great things to come.
Good, because we need more venues.
Mm.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we have the beautiful Overture Center, and we
Oh,
have
yeah.
the Bartell, and but we need more music places
Mhm,
because
mhm.
a lot of places that place is so old, and there's so many bats in the Belfry for all the shows that we used to do there.
Mhm.
It just needs. It's nice that from the gift of I can't remember who actually gifted. There's somebody that
Yeah.
gave a bunch of money to have
Mhm.
that upgraded and done. So
Yeah.
Well, relatedly, one fun fact about the Bartell is right after our show closes on August 9th, after our strike, we won't have to repaint the stage or anything because they're going to be tearing out a bunch of, old layers of paint and, giving the stage a bit of a refurbish for a couple weeks.
good. That really
Yeah.
needs to be done. I don't think that's ever been done since they turned it into a theater.
Yeah, I remember last year during strike for Iolanthe, I was repainting the stage, and there was some fairy dust that definitely got stuck there. There was so much glitter just trapped in the stage.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do Highland. I think that's very, 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 very true. Cool,
Yeah.
wonderful. So get tickets now. Opens a week from yesterday.
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes, and
July 31st.
July 31st. So that Friday the 31st. Go to the Bartell Theater, and that's when tickets are on sale now.
Mm-hmm.
And you will hear a wonderful updated version. And kilts are not required, but if you want to wear one, I don't see, it's a hot August evening. You want the cool breeze.
The breeze
to
will
come
be
in.
welcome. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you both for coming in, and have a great tech week.
Awesome. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Absolutely. See you next time. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim Talking About Records. Thank you, Deb. See you next time on Showbiz with me.